Good evening. A few years back, the government of India has announced that it will take every measure to double the income of the farmers by the year 2022. We are already in the year 2020 and the target is very near for the government. And government started taking certain steps, but unfortunately, we are facing this pandemic. A deadly situation has come into the picture, and we are fighting against this pandemic. Now, how exactly you will go ahead? Because of this pandemic, if you just sit at home and if there is no agriculture activity, definitely the country will be in trouble in the future. That is the reason why you need to provide the safety measures. Number one. Number two, our economic activity should also continue so that there will be no economic slump or recession in the country. That is the reason why the responsibility of the government during these type of situations, the responsibilities will be doubled. So they must be extra cautious. Apart from all these things, the government is also facing, India is facing the worst situation on the borders at Ladakh with the standoff with China. So like this, multiple problems are there in the country. Now, if you take only one out of this, that is with respect to agriculture. When you produce agriculture products or some essential products like petroleum products or drugs, pulses, edible oil, if somebody hoards all these, meaning if somebody keeps all of them in the godown and if you don't send them into the market, what will happen? That will lead to inflation. That is the reason why in order to stop such type of malpractices by some people, by some traders, the Parliament of India came out with an act called Essential Commodities Act. And this act was passed in the year 1955, and since that time this particular act is present in India, that is very much being implemented. Meaning so many restrictions are imposed on the people who are in this food business with respect to the quantity that they can store. If it is beyond that, they will be liable for the punishment. And the basic aim of this particular act is that to see that there will be free flow of goods into the market so that the people will be buying it. So that will not lead to any inflation. Alright, so like this Essential Commodities Act came into the picture and that is being implemented since that time. Now, the government made some amendments to this particular act, and these amendments are considered to be part of the 20 lakh crores package that has been announced by the government as a part of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Now, highest priority has to be given to the agriculture. So because the situation is so tight, that is the reason why the government made some amendments. It has been accepted through ordinance. It happened on June 3rd, 2020, and it came into the operation immediately. So that the role of the agriculture marketing committees will come down. Now the farmers are free to sell their produce at any place in India, and buyer, just by having a PAN card, he can purchase any amount. There is no limitation, any amount of the food grains from anywhere in the country. So this is completely open. There are no restrictions. There are no sanctions. Everything has been lifted off. So that what will happen, that will be beneficial for the farmers because from wherever they are getting the higher prices, they are free to sell it. Clear? So this is a mechanism to protect them. But of course, there are certain criticisms also for this. But what happens to these agriculture market committees in future? What happens to the concept of minimum support price that is announced by the government every time? That we need to wait and watch. But otherwise, certain amendments have been made to the Essential Commodities Act. So many restrictions have been removed, fine, and this has been promulgated through ordinance by the government. Clear? Last month itself, meaning in the month of May. Today is June 30th, right? So now last month, Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman, the Finance Minister of India, has announced that there is a necessity to go for certain amendments in this particular act, meaning hints were given, and accordingly it has been amended through ordinance on June 3rd, 2020, and it came into operation. Clear? So regarding that, I am going to show you the information. Clear? And kindly remember, the whatever the act that has been made by the government now, many act means step that has been taken by the government now. This is a mechanism to make it like one nation, one agriculture market. Anybody from anywhere in the country, you can sell your agriculture produce. Anybody from anywhere in the country can purchase, right? Purchase through online, right? So this is a mechanism, and of course, whenever you take any step, there will be advantages as well as disadvantages. Clear? Now I am going to show you that document. Kindly have a look at this. Look at this. The cabinet approved the Farming Produce Trade and Commerce Promotion and Facilitation Ordinance of 2020 to ensure barrier-free trade in agriculture produce. The Union Cabinet approved amendment to a 6.5 decade old Essential Commodities Act to deregulate food items. This includes cereals, pulses, and onion, and this is a move that will transform the farm sector and help raise in farmers' income. Clear? So this is the thing. Next, the government also approved the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Services Ordinance of 2020. This is to empower farmers to engage with the processors, aggregators, wholesalers, large retailers, and exporters. So that what will happen? Farmers can sell their agriculture produce to anyone. So this is a mechanism to make the farmers to engage with all these people. This will go a long way in helping India's farmers while also transforming the agriculture sector. Clear? Now kindly look at this one. When we went for the reforms of 1991, concentration was on industries and service sector. As far as the agriculture is concerned, there was no too many reforms that were introduced. Because of these restrictions that are existing in agriculture, many people like entrepreneurs did not venture to enter into this agriculture. Because of this removal of these restrictions, now there is every possibility that big players may also enter into agriculture. Am I clear? So please remember this point. Now, once again, I am opening the document. Look at this. Look at this now. This is a historic step. The government said this is a historic step in unlocking the vastly regulated agricultural markets in the country. And the Farmers Empowerment and Protection Agreement on Price Assurance and Farm Service Ordinance 2020 will empower the farmers for engaging with the processors. Right? This I have explained you. And kindly remember, these proposals were part of rupees 20 lakh crore economic package announced by the government to help those affected due to the lockdown clamped to fight the spread of the COVID-19 disease. Meaning, whatever has been announced, that is a part of the so-called Atmanirbhar Bharat. And in a nutshell, the ordinance is aiming at paving the way for one nation, one agriculture market. This is going to happen by creating barrier-free intra-state and interstate trade Intrastate means within the state, right? Interstate means, right? This is among the states, meaning from one state to the other state is also very much permitted. The buyer can purchase directly from a farmer without going to the state level agriculture market produce committee. You need not go to APMCs and straight away you can purchase from the farmers. Clear? You need not go to mandis. Mandis are nothing but the wholesale markets, right? There will be no tax or levy on such trade and buyers will not require a license. Very important one. Buyers don't require a license and the ordinance allows any person having a PAN card to take part in electronic trading in agricultural produce. You need to have some way to track it, whether the person is genuine or not, and that can be proved through the PAN card. But the objective is to provide farmers a greater choice in selling their produce and better price remuneration and attract large scale private investment in agriculture business. Kindly see here one very important thing. There is no very big investment as far as agriculture is concerned. This particular act of the government, the step that has been taken by the government, will pave the way for larger investments in the agriculture sector. Because whatever the restrictions that were existing, all these restrictions have been removed. Now a buyer can sit anywhere, use the PAN card, and you can purchase whatever you want agriculture produce from any farmer anywhere in the country. Similarly, a farmer can sell his agriculture produce to anyone through online. Am I clear? So this is the way, so where farmers can get more money. Now, once again, I am opening the document. Kindly have a look at this. Look at this. In which of the following years the Essential Commodities Act was passed? You know the answer. I told you already. 1955. Next, Essential Commodities Act includes drugs and fertilizers, petroleum products, foodstuff, pulses and edible oils. D, all the above. Answer is all the above. That is D. Look at this. Look at this. If you look at the latest developments, the Union government on March 14th, 2020 brought masks and hand sanitizers under the act. Hope you remember what exactly happened during that time. When there was a fear of this corona, so many people who are already there in the trade, they have hoarded the masks and sanitizers. Hope you remember those incidents where people suffered a lot. So when they go to the medical shops for purchasing the masks and hand sanitizers, the answer is only one thing: they are not available. Obviously, they were under shock. But without mask, how do you protect themselves? Clear? Because at that particular time, mask was only the protection. Right, later so different types of masks have come into picture, like cloth mask and all these things, right? There are some mechanisms, how you can make a mask at home also, like this. So many things have come up now. But during that time, so a sort of fear has been created in the society. No sanitizers, no face mask, then how can we survive? The virus may attack us at any point of time. During that time, the government decided to add these items under the essential commodities. Once a particular commodity or product is added under essential commodities, hoarding is not permitted. Hoarding is not permitted. There must be a free flow of those products into the market, and the government will also impose some MRP on that. MRP means maximum retail price. Clear? By hoarding the products, you cannot sell it in the market, because this is under the essential commodities. Am I clear? So that is how the government will take the steps from time to time. Right? Now look at this. The government can also fix MRP, that is maximum retail price, of any packaged product that it declares an essential commodity. So on March 14th, 2020, government declared masks and hand sanitizers as essential commodities. Right? So point number 3. So this is the old one. Again, old one means last month. The finance minister announced, now it has already been done. Go to point number 4. There will be no stock limit for the processors and supply chain owners based on their capacity and for exporters based on their export demand. It will also deregulate agricultural produce such as pulses, onion, potato and cereals, edible oils and oilseeds with an aim of better price realization for the farmers. Last but not least, very important point. This I have discussed with you many times earlier. Once again it is important. Kindly have a look at this. A boost to agriculture sector is crucial to double farm incomes by 2020. Right? And this is a stated goal of the central government. So tomorrow you may get a question. What is the target year by which the government wants to double the income of the farmers? Answer is 2022. Clear? So this is regarding the changes that have been taken place under Essential Commodities Act. Fine, and I'll stop at this stage. I'll see you tomorrow with more current affairs. Thank you so much.